Alright. Hi guys, BlazeThrough Gaming here and welcome back to another Destiny 2 live stream. In this live stream we're going to talk about the This Week at Bungie that has just literally in the last 40 minutes been released. I know this is pretty late, but I thought, hey, I'll give it a go, give it a shot in the dark and let's have a go. I would bring it up on my screen, but I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties trying to get things up and running. So until I can get my OBS software back up and running properly, I will have to kind of do something in the background whilst I try and kind of read. I was going to read the whole thing for word, like, you know, verbatim and word for word, but I think as I can't bring it up and scroll through and you guys see exactly what I'm reading, I think we should just kind of do sort of the bullet points of the sandbox and the Crucible changes that are going to be happening. As basically this is going to be all about the sandbox, and yeah, again this is related to 1.1.4 changes that will be coming out on the 27th of March. So obviously they were saying that this does mean changes to kill the time as well, so this is what they had to say. When we looked at the core feedback on time to kill in the Crucible, we saw that mostly streamed from a lack of excitement or spikes of interest you all come to expect from Destiny's experience. This comes in from the feedback that stated the game was too slow or the core loop was too slaty. And that makes sense to me, but okay. We agree. So Bungie agreed and are working with the sandbox to increase the pace of the Crucible as well. It goes on to say that Josh is going to speak about the sandbox changes and didn't want to steal his thunder on any sort of changes coming up. But it's good to hear that they got some time to kill changes in that. I think time to kill personally is a tad slow and it could be a hell of a lot better. So by the by, that's kind of what we're kind of looking for, isn't it? A bit more involvement. I'm sorry that I'm on the strike page. Whilst we're going through the changes, as dull and boring as it is, I was thinking, what's this thing else? Let's try this. It's always got a long ass waiting list, so why not, whilst we're waiting, talk about something a little bit interesting, and we'll talk about obviously This Week at Bungie. Okay, so let's get past all this agreement sort of stuff, and we'll see if we can join a team to jump in, and hopefully comms don't work, and I can just be a silent player on someone else's team. So yeah, apologies yet again for kind of not having a live feed set up on the on screen right now. It's very unprofessional, I know. So okay, so they're going to break down. Let's get back into the 12 for this week. So they said let's get down to business on how they plan to change the Crucible and deliver on the goal stated above. Here is the overview of changes we're bringing in 1.1.4. So let's start off with talking about respawn and revive. We're basically they're turning up in the game. So here's this first point. Players' respawn timers for all quick playing modes have been reduced to 2 seconds. That's quite nice. It means I have to sit there for as long to get back into the game. That's good. Player respawn timers for survival have been reduced to 7 seconds. Revival lockout time in Countdown has been reduced to 7 seconds. Players no longer lose revive tokens on death. Okay, so there's some good little bits there. Let's move on because there is quite a lot in this. So we'll move on to the next part, which is about ammo respawn timers were adjusted across the board. Power ammo respawn timer in Iron Banner have been reduced by 50%. Power ammo respawn timers for all quick play modes have been reduced by 30%. Power ammo respawn timers in survival have been reduced by 40%. And power ammo respawn timer in Countdown has been reduced by 25%. That's not too bad. So it means obviously when Iron Banner comes back, in March as the 6v6. We will have that reduced power ammo, so obviously power ammo is going to become a lot more accessible in there. And also, with the power ammo, they are obviously changing what they're going to do. I might be jumping ahead here, it might be the next one. I haven't read through all this yet, so okay. Ammo counts have been adjusted in relation to these timers and in relation to weapon type. In almost all cases, weapons either retain the same ammo count or receive a buff. Swords and rockets were brought down to stay in line with the rest of the weapons offering. Enemy players who drop their power ammo on death, this is what I was about to jump into before I kind of got a little bit carried away and realised, hang on, this might be in here. Okay, so enemy power players now drop power ammo on death. This brink is now networked to all players regardless of faction. Source the power ammo to keep it from your foes or steal it off the enemy ghost, but be quick because these bricks don't stay in the world forever. So obviously, if you have power ammo and you're unfortunately killed, you will obviously drop your power ammo brick, and it's accessible for anyone. So first come, first serve to get that power ammo. But if no one gets it, it will vanish after a certain amount of time. They haven't stated what that time is on that, however, but that was what I was going to get into. And before we move on, I have missed a very important part. As we can know, Bungie is Bungie. I say Bungie. I should really be saying. Obviously, this week it is Iron Banner Week. Has returned for the final 4v4, and they're saying obviously got new weapons are directly available from Saladin. Southern stock, or you can earn through Iron Engrams. This isn't the last chance to earn these weapons. Though for Season 2 and those are Season 2 ornaments, as Iron Banner will be returning after update 1.1.4, and the next time we do see it, it will be featuring 6v6 game modes. That will be pretty exciting. It'll be a lot of fun, fast paced, especially now with obviously the respawn, timers, and power ammo respawn as well. Okay, let's get back into the next bit of this. Okay, so they say all these changes just to create an experience that relies less on competing with your team and focuses more on rewarding quick reflexes, thinking, and movement. Okay, so now they go on to the next big question, but what about competitive? They're saying during the development of 1.1.4, they realized that whilst we reduced the team shooting in quick play in Iron Banner effectively, we hadn't quite done the same for competitive. Knowing this, they looked for a change that reinforced the following goals: reduce team camping. Not camping. I can't read. It's a bit late at night now for me, but oh well. I will do silly things like this. Wow, this is really hard to get onto Nightfall as a guide games. It's really bad. I need to fix that. Knowing this, okay, so I'm jumping straight back in. Knowing this, Bungie looked for a change that, okay, we read that bit, blah blah blah. Reward individual players and incentivize folks. With these goals in mind, Bungie looked to take a big step in shifting the gameplay to competitive and trials. Starting in 1.1.4, Bungie opted to remove the tracker from all competitive and trials game modes. This means more communication is required to secure victory in competitive and trials matches. It also means that a crispy flank with power ammo is all the more powerful. Regarding opportunities is more and no tracker. That's pretty good. I mean, it'll make that difficulty level a little bit more tolerable to kind of find, really, won't it? So that'll be alright. So that was the past bit, and then also they move over to Josh Hamrick, who is in charge of the Sandbox team to deliver, well, basically deliver all the feedback for what the Sandbox is going to provide for the other bigger part of the game. I mean, we've seen some things there. They're going to improve the quality of life for the Crucible already, just by that small bit. Just having a quick scan. So obviously, Bungie's also asking for feedback on what they think or what we think about these changes for the upcoming 1.1.4, and if we have anything else, obviously contact that or leave a post on Bungie or ask the question, leave it with them so they can kind of get an idea from it. Okay, so going over to Josh Hamrick, he then obviously mentions, as mentioned last time, our goals for this update is to provide individual players with more hero moments by increasing overall speed and mobility, increasing the number of supers you charge to demolish, or whatever, your enemies, and increasing the frequency and impact of most worthy power weapons, especially in the Crucible with update 1.1.4. During every closer, it feels like a good time to sort of back by the provide some updates and individual clarity to what this patch will bring. Wow, still waiting. Obviously, this is getting a bit ridiculous. Alright, so we've been streaming for 12 minutes now, and we are still waiting to obviously get somewhere. I've lost my notes now. I've lost my swap. There we go. Josh then also goes and says, now here's an updated version of the list of changes first detailed back in 1st of Feb. New and or updated entries are highlighted in bold. Okay, so let's have a look through this. It says all 3 guides plus. Okay, so the carpet and stair lift jumps have been retuned and buffed to make them faster and more unique. The mobility stat range has been extended and completely retuned as well. In short, everyone gets faster and the high end is higher. Players' ground speed cap has been increased, allowing for faster total movement speed regardless of how you may get there. Arc Strider, Sentinel and Striker are all move faster and at the same speed as one another whilst in their supers. Arc Strider as a whole is performing well in PvP, but mostly due to the natural game perks. We made the following changes in effect to get the super to be more competitive options: faster attack animation, faster dodge animations, increased range of all attacks. Okay, so then I jumped a bit there. The previous charge changed are being retweaked, allowing shader changes to be used as a movement mod once again. Solar charge changes, not shaders. What am I thinking of? Okay, swiftly moving on, we're going to go down to Dawnblade has been improved. Reduce the cost of throwing swords, allowing for 1 additional throw. Increased super duration, extended games from everlasting fire. Removed all in-air accuracy penalties whilst shift strike is active. Reduce the iconic dash countdown or cooldown. Increase the grenade and melee energy heat rays given you per kill. Right, I promise we will jump into something soon because this is getting a bit ridiculous here. And we're not even halfway through the top, so obviously we can talk in between. Well, let's do some iron. Alright, let's do this. Let's do some Iron Banner because that's getting ridiculous. I've tried it numerous times. Right. Plus, if there's no one playing, it's not going to be a bit of it. Right, let's get into some Iron Banner whilst we play. Because obviously you're just looking at my ship whilst we wait, and I just read from the Bungie net and just give you information on what's kind of happening. Okay. Okay, invisibility on dodge and smoke updates. This will be definitely for the hunters. Invisibility on dodge no longer breaks aim assist or projective tracking in PvP. Unchanged in PvE. Dodging still breaks both aim assist and projectile or tracking, but only for a duration of the actual dodge. Increase the duration of visibility on dodge by 1 second. Increase the duration of smoke bombs invisibility by 1 second. Okay. Super recharge faster for everyone. Super recharge 1 double dot 40 faster, so 1 minute 45. 1 minute 40 faster? That's what I'm going to count it as. A cooldown reduction of 25%. Mods that reduce grenade, melee, and class ability cooldowns have been buffed to allow for up to 2 times faster cooldown. This is not replacing This isn't replacing mods 2.0, which has recently delayed. More information available below. Okay, so we're going to get into some more mod stuff. Okay, before we move into the next section, we're going to get into the endless volumes and some Iron Banner Clash. And then we will jump back into this. We're going to like literally or do a match, jump in, and we'll read. We'll go back through more of the 12 whilst we can in between things. Make it a lot more exciting. Well, not more exciting. At least we're actually getting some gameplay in as well. You're just watching my boring ass. You just change it up, back it up, back it in. Let me begin. Okay. Oh, I'm winning a new controller. I keep pressing sprint back some. Ah, damn it. Righty then. Okay, so after the next part of the 12 will be going on about weapon systems, I believe, from what I just glanced. Oh, goddamn. I was playing, but goddamn hunters. Okay. They're saying that they buff several weapon archetypes, including but not limited to hand cannons, pulse rifles, sniper rifles, and shotguns. For a few special perks as well, a key goal here is to make shotgun snipers and fusion rifles more relevant in game. So they start off with the pulse rifle. I'm going to try and do it and glance them. Increased PvE damage to all pulses. Ah, I'm going to shut it on it. So increase the rate of fire for adapt and high impact pulses. Increase the base damage of impacted high impact and rapid fire pulses, increase the precision multiples for lightweight pulses, damaged precision multipliers for adaptive pulses. This keeps precision damage close to where it is now, putting most of the buff into the body shot, though it's still an increase in special damage overall. Okay. A little bit of team shot in there. Right. Okay, so Scout is going to be the next one up on the weapon agenda. So, pulse rifles, I don't really use them that often. Use them more in this than I did in Destiny 1. Oh, balls. Ah, fucking swords. Goddamn swords, man. So, Scout rifles increase for Scout, increase base damage, impact, yeah. It's
3 minutes left. seconds. Your opponents have nearly won. Show them you won't go quietly. The collapse couldn't stop humanity. Defeat shouldn't stop you. When you're ready, I'll be here.
For auto rifle currently. Okay, so a few weapon perks are also getting some updates. High impact, reserve increased PvE damage, kill kit increased PvE damage, rampage. Right. News. To wait for buffability for
Iron Banner Clash.
last few weeks. It's been as it been.
Grows sharper. Vicious, you strike as one.
Down here, bad people, or the opposite side. I'm on your team, dude. You're going to kill me. Not my kill, but... Ah, come on. Ah, come on, motherfucker. Apologies for language. Okay, so the decision... I'll go back to 12 a little bit here quickly. The decision which has already been accounted for in the last roadmap that you saw, or that we saw, sorry, is ultimately going to be a win for all of us. It gives us more time to deliver something we believe will add value to the game. However, we understand that we should not delay much needed improvements to ability cooldowns. So whilst there are many improvements to mod planning for the future, we are going to generally increase the output of the ability cooldowns. Okay, so that sounds interesting. That sounds good. So we're going to get the mods eventually. And we're going to get that improvement there with the cooldowns and stuff like that. But then also in the long run, they're still working on mods overall. Also, I get stuff. So yeah, okay. So mods are still there. I'm a bit gutted that mods are still there. I was kind of hoping random rolls were going to come back to both armor and weapons. Because let's be serious, no one really likes the mod system. We all want to see. The warlocks just flying everywhere today. What's going on with that? Oh, nice one. Okay, so let's move over to the next part, which is invisibility. Night Stalkers. The day of reckoning is soon upon us. Our invisible explosives may have barely been seen, but they have most certainly been felt. In 1.1.4, our ability to ninja smoke out to avoid any and all incoming fire and or lightning is going to be reduced down to put skill alone. Not that we ever admit to it being anything but, as one of the only two item demand nerves worthy on the entire list of incoming sandbox changes, we as hunters shall deal with this as we deal with everything else. We take it as a compliment. That's solid proof of our endless support of talent, and we never ever let the looks of the Titans hear the end of it. Right, I play as a Titan. It's playing as a Titan right this second, and I'm not upset with the fact that they're going to change up.
In the Dark Age, we call this all of you together like iron walls.
Oh, come on, let's get out of that. Oh my, get out of that. I ain't messing around, mate. Oh, so close. So sticking with Night Stalker's invisibility, they went currently dodge and throw smoke. Doesn't really make sense. Dodging temporary kills, aim assist, and projectile tracking, allowing you to actually dodge things. Smoke is immediately jumped to. Infinite invisibility for the duration of the invisibility, aim assist and tracking remain disabled. Dodge finishes, invisible expires, aim assist and tracking are enabled. For me, it makes no sense. I'm not playing as a hunter. I have a hunter. I enjoy playing as a hunter, but half the time I forget I can dodge and duck, weave and dodge. this way. I think where everyone's coming from.
One still dead even. You can do this. Good count.
Oh, I love being a Titan. Much fun. I know everyone hates the double grenades. I don't know, I love it. Oh, so close to that one finishing. Okay, so yet again, still on the Invisible Night Stalkers, coming soon in 1.1.4 PvP only. Intent to dodge and smoke. Dodging temporary kills, aim assist, and projected tracking, allowing you to accurately dodge things. Smoke just immunizes jumps too. Invisibility, dodge finishes, aim assist, and tracking are re-enabled. Invisible expiry. Who knows? What we won? I do. Thanks for the burning fire. Oh, we won. Good effort. I didn't even notice. Okay, no, nothing changes for PvE except that they also get 1 second duration increase in invisibility. Okay, moving over. Oh, I got top of the board. I do well considering I'm reading and playing at the same time. For me, woohoo! Okay, snipers. In the last update, Bungie mentioned how a nasty bug has crept into our scopes and made it near impossible for us to correctly turn sniper flinch. We have good news that fix has been implemented, and those changes will go live in 1.2.0 planned for May. Sweet sniper action is on its way. Put snipers back in secondary position, or energy slots, because we all miss it. Okay, this is not the end. Jesus Christ, it isn't the end either. Okay. Josh then turns on and says, whilst we are very excited to get this update into your hands, and we believe you're really going to enjoy the changes, all we know there ain't the only changes. We need to address feedback. That's just the first leg of the long journey. We hope this makes the game more fun for you all. That begins to bring back hero moments and make you feel a bit more like tiny gods. But we also hope you know there is more to come, and this gets you excited to come along for the ride. See you all soon. That was from Josh. That pretty much sums up what's going to be coming for that next update. For 1.1.4. I'm getting confused with my points and fucking digits now. Oh, who's shooting me? Who I killed one. Who killed me? What about that? I can paint that. Okay. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff coming. A lot of improvements to gameplay. So no more story yet. Don't quote me on that one. There's not much story coming back in yet. Obviously not until expansion 2 in May. Oh balls, man! I got my ass kicked. Ass getting hand in that one. Shit. Fuck. Defeat. I'm going to be playing better if I haven't been paying attention to what I'm doing. Maybe I'll just play out that more often. Okay. Boom, dead together. Nice. Light work. As Destiny 2 continues to evolve, Bungie's .NET team is also hard at work pressing feedback and bringing in updates to the community experience. Oh, yeah. The CSUX design Joe card as the last name. It's here to walk through some changes that were delayed to advertisement. Okay, so the companion app had an update as well by the looks of it. This is a very big update. It looks like I made some changes to the companion app. If that's something you want to hear, I'm not going to go into it now. It's not me. It's not as an important part for me. I use the companion app. I think the companion app's very good. But it's not something that's on my radar. I would be very openly interested in saying. would be a lot better. Oh, there you go. Got it! Got it! God, fuck my life. Just go away. Leave me alone. Stop following me. Alright, let's see Uriel's gift. Let's play around with it before they, not nerve it, but take away my aim assist.
30 seconds.
Maybe I should actually start playing as a team and actually focus. Ah, yeah. That's alright. Happy with that.
Defeat is not the end.
Let's see.
Fight again.
Right, so I'll have a quick scan back on this week of Bungie to see what else they've got going on. Okay, so they're saying recently they added 2 more members of the Destiny player support. I may have encountered them in the help forums. Okay. Okay, Wi-Fi stability. Okay, so there isn't much there. I kind of have a look at on the remainder of the news. The header notes, feel free to check it out on Bungie. This week. Feel free to check out yourselves, have a quick read through. There is a lot of information there, so I may have missed a few bits and pieces, so feel free to check it out. I will put a link into it anyway before, well, I'll put it in the description, and people can feel free to kind of jump over there if you don't already have that link. Okay, so or I might just shove it up on, see if I can shove it up on screen now. And let's just shove that in the description. Just put it like this. Right, there we go. Perfect place. Where are we at now? Oh, Javelin 4. Good map. Let's see if I can do any better with it. Okay, so you might be able to see it in the car. Okay. Basic information. Okay, where are we at? Okay. Let's jump into that rest without looking like handies in the corner. So that's just oh yeah, we got the shot. Oh god, I don't know how to read. So yeah, I've kind of been away from Destiny because I didn't feel Faction Rally. So I kind of avoided Faction Rally and Victory Week. I thought I was like, I don't know what you mean. That couldn't have been me that killed him. Alright. Okay, okay. Oh, you're matching. I go. Wow, get no shots whatsoever on target. Go me. How? I was gonna say, how the hell am I at top position of my team? Am I doing it? Now I have. Oh, god damn it, that was so close. The Titan punch just needs to be a Titan faster. I'm not funny, but I thought I'll do bad humour. I thought might make the stream a little bit more witty. Oh, of course, how the fuck did I miss that fucker up?
I believe in you, Guardian. Take this fight to them.
Oh, I got done by a grenade as well. Slam ultra. Well done, dude. Right. So, guys, if you have either watched the beginning part of this stream and I've listened to the 12, or if you've read it, or if you've watched another YouTuber on the 12, let me know what you think. Let's get a conversation going. Otherwise, you're just going to listen to me just waffle on about really nothing. I'll probably talk to you about the weather, snowing up north Finland. It's like it never snowed here at all last week. Yeah. This is information that no one really needs to hear. Really? I can't see one of them. No, I'm not okay. Shaxi boy, you should not go. Shaxi, you're sorry. Oh, that's a wall.
3 minutes left.
Hehehehe. Comes around. Oh, false. Oh, bad timing that. Just as we got to the end, we're playing some dragon. So 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Oh, thank you. Good night, Mark. 2 long 10 minutes. Thank you very much for that. Oh, that's a shame.
Show them what you can do.
Hee
Your opponents have nearly won. Show them
Oh,
what
well, I will do really much, huh? I really want the scale lock looking solid.
1 minute.
Yeah, that's bad.
Shax must envy your strength.
Come on, 7 more kills. Oh, well done, man. Well done, you, dude. Well done. How the hell am I at the top of the leaderboard? That's the thing I can never remember. I don't remember. I don't know why. Ba-dum. Woohoo, Masterworks. We got that.
There is nobility in defeat. Come back stronger.
Okay, excuse me. So we have basically looking at mods coming back into the game in the May update, one with Overlords of Mars. Still hasn't been confirmed by Bungie yet, it's still expansion 2. Even Bungie said, look, yeah, the expansion is cool to this. Even though it is, I know it's on Microsoft, it's on, has been announced on the Xbox store, as it were. Until it's kind of mentioned through Bungie, it's not really, confirmed. You could say, yeah, well, words and Call of Duty Mars, and change it. You change it to, I don't know, Kid 6's new Rasputin and Warmine. Yeah, who knows? What do I do? Let's do this. I'm not running Masterworks. Hit that Masterworks. Apply. It's armor itself. So is it 5, 10, 15, 20% resistance to damage. Nice. Jesus, massive delay in my it stay for about a minute. Yeah. Obviously, they announced today that The Division is getting a sequel, and obviously at E3 they're going to show off some Division 2. That's something I love. The Division. I thought The Division was brilliant. I haven't got back into it this time around because I found it really hard to get into it. Being away for so long, so much loot, so much gear. I just, I'd be better off just starting from scratch. To be truthfully honest. But that was it. Oh, a sword. Never ending original. Oh, wow. Saw that coming. Motherfucker. It's late night, I can spray now. Ah.
Good counter. Now hit them again. The pendulum could swing either way. Fine work. I expect nothing less. 3 minutes left. In the Dark Age, we call this fun.
Hey, person. Hey, person. Oof.
1 minute remains.
I'm winning at least. Oh, we're winning. I'm sorry. I'm winning. I don't really mind.
Thirty seconds.
You're hiding. Where are you hiding?
10 seconds.
It's hiding much, this, isn't it?
A clean victory.
No, so I tight up. I think it was a full time match, wasn't it?
Only the best could defeat you. Perhaps one day you and I can get it.
Right, let's get into some strikes. It's quite late. Right, let's go and jump into strike, see if we can get some momentum on this stream. Obviously, if you're watching after stream has finished, thank you very much. Thanks for actually getting this far in the video. I know I've done quite a lot of long ones lately. I shouldn't be doing this long, but hey. Okay, so let's go and do one night. Let's do a heroic strike. Heroic strike. Heroic. Heroic key. What do I say? No, I don't want to say. Don't want to keep on playing this. A month ago. No. Okay, at least we did a heroic strike pretty quick.
Welcome to Operation Stormcoat Gun. The taking have deployed shielded flights and other defensive measures across this area. The local hydro plant is under their control. Their behavior here has been almost militaristic. Watch out for Fallen as well. Get their arms in everything, don't they? It appears we're not the only ones with interests in this region. One of my teams reported taken energy infecting the water supply. Our purification tech can only do so much. If the contamination spreads, people will die.
Killing that blight returned the soil and water readings to normal.
Let's hope there aren't lasting effects. Take them out, please.
still tracking taken energy nearby. They're all over the water facility. And under it. Whatever's behind this must be underground.
This is the most ambitious Taken operation since Oryx led their charge. The former Taken King. Yes, Ikoran's misters, his sisters. I'll bet they're as monstrous as he is. We'll box their ears too.
Taken compromised a Red Legionary. It would explain how organized they've been. Without Oryx, I didn't think they could still, well, take.
Ikora and I will investigate. Meanwhile, contamination is clearing across the region.
The Fallen are chattering about this on every feed. As much as I hate to admit it, we have a common goal when it comes to protecting this place. It's their home too.
What? Found him.
Welcome to Eververse. Come see me again, Guardian.
See what's
Guardian.
You're alive, Guardian. Fight like it. I've seen the Vanguard feeds. The Red Legion is burning everywhere.
right.
Perhaps a barter is warranted.
with more like you. With more like you, perhaps the Iron Lords would never have faded. Zavala needs you, but I need you too.
All runs together, doesn't it? Maybe just me.
To give your life so that others may live is to answer the highest calling.